And here we are. Everybody's coming. Hello, everybody.
I'm just doing my sing along for today. Oh.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's great to see you. Good. Thank you for being here. So I would like to say hello and happy Saturday to Anjali. Hello, Anjali. Nice to have you here with us in the room. And to Jane, coming in from England. Nice to see you. Greg, nice to see you. I'm glad you're with us today. Greg Lewis, Executive Director-ish, previous Executive Director of Washington Rebels, just retiring as of 2 days ago. Happy day, Greg Lewis. It's a different Saturday than any of the Saturdays you've had for the last 15 years, I know. Hello, Fran, coming in from the DC area. Nice to see you. And Beth in Kentucky, nice to see you. Sheila in Florida, glad you're here today. And Lucy in Wisconsin, Nancy in Washington, Lisa in Indiana, Dan in Virginia. Hello, Susan, nice to have you here from the DC area. And Anne, good to see you. Suzanne in Richmond, Hindi in Toronto, Annette in California. Hello, everybody. Carolyn in Idaho, and Barb, nice to have you. I think you told me where you're from and I've forgotten. Susan in Idaho, nice to see you. Kathleen in Albuquerque. Dennis in British Columbia, great to have you again. Toby in California, you can tell it's a Saturday. We have our Toby back with us. Adele, nice to see you. Belinda, nice to see you. And Caroline, nice to have you again. And let's see who else we have. Mommy, hi Mommy, nice to have you with us. So hello also to everybody out there on Facebook Live. And I would like to do a special shout out today before we get started to one of our absolute regulars here, dedicated day after day, coming in from Arizona, Karen Kluge, who is celebrating her birthday. Can we all please give Karen a big happy birthday wish? Woo! She looks very birthday-ish over there with all her balloons. Welcome everybody to the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song. Most of you know we're here every day at noon doing this thing that we're doing, which is building community, singing one song together every day, and finding different reasons either to celebrate or to think about ways that we can be working to make our ever getting weirder world a better place. And as I say many days, I get up and I read the news and I think it couldn't possibly get any weirder. And yet today was another day where it got weirder. So there you go. Okay, so let's see. I'd like to let everybody know that there will be a donate link in the chat box. If you're able to help continue the program, that's great. All the money goes to the artists directly. My email will be in the chat box. And I am actually running the tech today, which is why you will see me distractedly looking over at the other computer once in a while. And the lyrics will also be in the chat box once Tim starts singing. And I just want to also say, coming up this week, we have 2 special days. We will have one day, which is our 182nd day of singing together, and the other day, which is our 183rd day of singing together. So they are surrounding the 182.5, which would be halfway through the year of singing together every day, which is pretty amazing. And we're pretty excited about that. So on those 2 days, we are going to have artists who were with us the very first week we started. And they are going to sing songs they sang with us in the very first week we started. And some of you weren't here then, so they might be new songs to you. I also want to say that I asked Tim to come in today. So Tim Eriksen is with us, coming in from Amherst, Mass. And I asked him to come in today because in a little bit of a way, I feel like we're starting the celebration of our halfway through the year week. And I asked him to bring us a song which I really loved, which he sang with us some time ago, but also which just feels to me like it couldn't get more the reason we need to be singing. Kind of every day, this song applies a little bit more and a little bit more. So welcome Tim Eriksen, who is an amazing ethnomusicologist, singer, songwriter, ballad singer, punk rock musician extraordinaire. And since he's one of our ethnomusicologist musicians, we might barrage him with a little bit of questions afterwards. So dream up the hard ones, guys. Tim, welcome. I'm really glad to be singing with you today.
Glad to be here. All right. Well, we've sung this some of us before. I know I've sung it before anyway, and it's got a pretty easy chorus. It's an old camp meeting hymn. It's very amenable to improvising new verses since it's just rhymed couplets. That might be something you want to do in the future. I've done it before, just sitting around with people, and people are able to sing whatever's on their heart. Um, if you have a copy of the 1849 Methodist hymnal, I'm going to sing some from page 226. But start out with some other verses as printed in 1848 in Maine. So it's another one of these uh, African tinged songs from Maine that might be a surprise to people. Chorus goes, "Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee." That's all for the chorus. "Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee." All right, here we go. I'll sing the verses, and then you can sing back on the choruses. "The glorious time is rolling on when sinners will come flocking home. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. I long to hear the joyful sound. The dead's alive, the lost is found. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. I long to reach that happy shore where storm and sorrows are no more. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. Oh, for a glance of heavenly day to take this stubborn heart away. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. And thaw with beams of love divine this heart, this frozen heart of mine. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. The rocks can rend, the earth can quake, the seas can roar, the mountains shake. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. Of feeling all things show some sign, but this unfailing heart of mine. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. To hear the sorrows thou hast felt, O Lord, and adamant would melt. Oh, there's better days coming, and you go along with me. Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. But I can read each moving line, and nothing moves this heart of mine. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. That power divine can do the deed, and Lord, that power I greatly need. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. Thy spirit can from dross refine and melt and change this heart of mine. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. Oh, there's better days coming, will you with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee.
Woo! Thank you, Tim. That was awesome. Great energy. A little bit of extra percussion in there, which right at the end, I thought that was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for bringing us a song that I think resonates with all of us right now as we all sit around hoping and working towards better days as the lunacy, there's just so lunacy out there. Lunatical, lunacide, I don't even know. It's awful. we're all in this room because we recognize that it's gone completely wackadoo, and we're all here trying to figure out ways to fix it as best as we can. And it's been a really, really amazing group in this room. I have to say there's a whole bunch of card makers in this room who are all helping to make cards for the Howard University, healthcare workers, and just incredible projects that folks in this room have done, showing up at discussions when we've had diversity, equity, and inclusion discussions. And I'm really looking forward to continuing with all of you as we move through these months. We are going to have a special voting week songs week where we're going to sing about voting, and we're going to have the Amidons back singing a song about voting. We've got some other surprises. Also, I want to mention that we're going to have a few new artists coming up in this month, including Diana Saez, who performed recently at one of our community sings and who was so fabulous that I've asked her to join us in here. And tomorrow we're going to have Elvie Miller, Dennis Liddy, and her girls coming in from Ireland. And among other things, we're going to sing in honor of the fact that it is the feast day of St. Francis, and it's the blessing of the animals specifically. So we may have an animal song in honor of that. So thanks again, everybody, for being in here. And I'm going to look in the chat box now and see if there is anything in there that has anything to do with, okay, yep, okay. So Suzanne in Richmond has asked, Tim, would you share a bit more about the history of this hymn and the main origin? You're muted.
It comes from the Millerite movement of the 1830s and 40s. And this is the only place I've seen it is in an 1848 book called The American Vocalist by a guy named Daniel Mansfield from Hope, Maine, up there near the coast in near Camden. And it, as far as I can tell, comes from these great outdoor revival meetings. People got together anticipating the end of the world and singing together, often in songs that, like this one, are very amenable to improvisation. If you can think of a rhymed couplet, you have a new verse. And so you just sort of imagine a couple hundred people, a couple thousand people maybe outside at night by candlelight, or maybe by moonlight when it's as bright as it's been, and singing songs, singing words both from memory. And of course the fact that it has a chorus makes it immediately joinable, which is part of the idea for everybody to be able to sing together.
Thank you, Tim. That's great. So Carolyn just put in a great line. She said in the chat, Daily Antidote is my revival, which is awesome. Thank you, Carolyn. That's beautiful. Thank you to all of you, actually, between the chats and the emails. It's so inspiring hearing from you guys. The different ways in which the songs are affecting you, or the different ways in which you are bringing different things to the table, or ways you're taking this out into your own communities. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you every day and always. Are there any other questions for Tim? And if you know that your Wi-Fi is strong enough, you can actually just wave at me and I will unmute you if you have a question for Tim. And I'm going to poke around now looking. Everybody's just like, no, we just want to sing that song again. It's just totally understandable. Me too. All right, I'm not seeing any hands. Oh, okay, Suzanne in Richmond has a hand. Yep. You're going to have to unmute yourself, or try at least. And if it doesn't work, I'll see if I can. Okay, wait, you're still muted. I'm going to send you an unmute yourself message or something. Hang on, we're getting there.
Yep. Am I there?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Tim, a follow-up question. Was there typically lots of harmony that they would sing to this as well?
Well, in a camp meeting context, any harmony would have been pretty much improvised. It is written with simple harmonization in this 1848 book that was designed for somewhat more formal gatherings. I mean, still designed for singing at home and not during a church service, but yeah. Harmony
and
was there.
Those verses sang today, were those all from the American Vocalist?
No, the first, let's see, I sang a couple from the American Vocalist. He typically only included a couple of verses of things that in practice might have gone on and on. And
Okay.
I think I might have made some of them up, and then some are from some that he would have known from I mean, his book came out in 1848. The big edition of the huge new edition of the Methodist hymnal was 1849, but it was still largely stuff he would have known and would have been very, appropriate.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sorry, Tim, I just want to make sure I heard that right. You said the new edition is from 1849?
Yeah. There was
Okay,
a big,
so
it was the year after the Methodist Church South split off over the issue of slavery.
got it. Okay, thank you very much. So there's a new edition from 1849, which puts whatever the birthday number is that Karen is celebrating into a different perspective.
They're
Hey,
cheap
thank you.
online. They're like, you can get them for like $10, or used to be able to, $5-10.
Wow, that's great. Are there other hands? I'm going to scroll again and see if there's anybody else who had a question for Tim, specifically about the song or about anything. Dennis, go ahead, please unmute.
Hey Tim, thanks. Something you just said there caught my ear. You said about the split of the Methodist on the issue of slavery. Could you just
Oh yeah, well, so the reason why it's the United Methodist Church, although there's been the first split down in Georgia just 2 weeks ago or so, a new split, but it was split in a number of different ways, and the biggest split that I'm aware of was between the North and the South in 1840. I think it was 48. And that was largely over the issue of slavery. So the Methodist Episcopal Church South became its own entity. And then, so it was then in the 20th century that then became the United Methodist Church, where they came back together again. And there were some other groups, the Primitive Methodists and some other smaller groups who also joined.
okay?
Thank
so in
you.
Okay.
Oop. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah. So in Canada, we've got the United Church and the Methodist Church. So what was when that split would have happened then, 1848?
Is it United Methodist or is it United? It might be just United, because there's so many, so many similar.
He's live now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Hang on
Thanks.
1 second. Oop. All right. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Thank you again, Dennis. Those were great questions. I super appreciate it. And Tim, thanks for fielding them so beautifully. Is there anybody else? I'm looking all the way from the back screens, looking forward. And I do want to actually call out Anne in New York and Kirsten up in Mass, because they're both making similar motions while they're sitting there. Yep, both of them are doing some kind of crafting while we're sitting here, which of course has just given me a brand new brainchild for a good, nice job. Look at it, I love it. We get to see both. A new brainchild for something else we might be able to all join together and do over cocktails or cocos or chips or candy or croissants and whatever else everybody put in the room the other day. Because crafting begins with a C. Wait a minute. Okay, seriously, we're gonna have to have a little crafting party in here. Are there other folks in this room who craft? I'm interested in seeing hands. If there's folks in here who do some form of sewing and knitting, great, that's awesome. I'm loving seeing this. Thank you so much again, everybody. I didn't see any other hands. So I'm just going to, before I ask Tim to sing us out with a couple more of those choruses, maybe if we can just sing through it again twice, since it's a little short, that'd be great. I want to say again, one more happy birthday to Karen. And I want to say again, one more happy retirement first weekend to Greg. And I'll tell you what, Greg, you're not going to get off easy. So there's going to be another day where we're going to do something specifically to sing about the joys of your newfound relaxed life. So thank you again. So Greg has been an incredible force at Washington Rebels for so many years. And this program in part stemmed out of the fact that he gives me blessings and a lot of freedoms and a lot of autonomy. And we've been a great team for a lot of years. And it's been a blessing for me working with you. And I also want to call out Busy Graham, who couldn't be with us today, from Carpe Diem Arts, who is our partner in this project. And now I want to call out Tim Eriksen. Thank you again for joining us. And would you mind if we sang that chorus a couple more times?
Yeah, let's do 2 verses with chorus, and on the second one at the end, let's slow down, which is apparently something that they would have done and that we're all kind of familiar with, that big sort of rousing finish. Jazz hands. Okay, here we go. Oh, for a glance of heavenly day to take this stubborn heart away. Oh, there's better days coming. Will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming, and we'll sound the jubilee. and thaw with beams of love divine this heart, this frozen heart of mine. Ah, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming and we'll sound the jubilee. Oh, there's better days coming, will you go along with me? Yes, there's better days coming and we'll sound the jubilee.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you again. That song has so much energy. I absolutely love it. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Goodbye, everybody on Facebook.